Hello, this is Evan Rogerson, and I'm Motorgang here, and today I'm going to be breaking down the 4.0 game manual update that just dropped earlier today. As per usual, I will have the older version of the manual on the left-hand side and the newer version of the manual on the right-hand side. And there is some very exciting stuff that came out for this manual update, so make sure you stick around to the end so you don't miss it, as most of the stuff in this is pretty important. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe in order to please the YouTube algorithm, and let's get into it. So the first thing that they did is a small nerf to the positive corners. So now the positive corner, instead of just doubling the value of an entire mobile goal, it only doubles the value of the points of the rings individually, not the top ring bonus. So as you can see here, previously a top ring would be worth 6 points if it were on a mobile goal, because it would be worth 3 points and then you double it to up to 6. But now over here on the right hand side, you can see it's now only worth 4 points because the ring is worth 1 point, that is doubled. So now it's worth 2 points, and then the top rank bonus is added, so it's up to 4. So a slight nerf to the value of the positive corners. I don't think this will have too much change in how teams strategically play the game, as 2 points taken away from the positive corners still definitely makes the positive corners worth going for, but I think that definitely ties in with some of the other stuff, which I'll kind of get to later in the video, in which the GDC is trying to make positive corners. You can't just win off of positive corners. You need to be more focusing on wall stakes and hanging, which we'll kind of see some of the later ons with the changes to SG11. Overall, I don't think it's really going to affect much though, so I'm kind of neutral on this change. Next up, they changed the autonomous win point criteria, which this really shouldn't be a surprise because the previous version had rules for non-Worlds qualifying events and Worlds qualifying events, and now we're at Worlds. That's really the only event left in the season, so it makes sense that the criteria would be different. And it's even harder to do, for the most part. So now, instead of needing 3 rings or 4 rings scored, you now need to have 5 total rings scored. Additionally, they kept the requirement of having to have 3 stakes, so you still have to get 3 stakes. However, you don't have to get the Alliance Wall stake, which is interesting. I think that's more to encourage like goal rushing, so that if you goal rush and you don't do the Alliance stake, you can still do it, which I think is a good change. It's going to make things more competitive and interesting. And then finally, another interesting thing is you now need to have 2 robots contacting the ladder. So and they got rid of the criteria to get off the starting line, because in order to get off the starting line, you now have to be touching the ladder. So it makes it harder for you to just like push your opponent off the line if you're trying to do a solo AWP, or not opponent, partner off the line if you're trying to do solo AWP. And it also means that like you can't just quite as easily just code like a simple drive forward. They need to be like pointed at the ladder. So it ups the minimum bar for teams, and for the top teams, you now need to score an extra 1 ring. Overall, I think this is a pretty good change, because I know I think last year for over under Worlds, the autonomous win point criteria in some divisions was like over 90%. Kind of going to really reward the teams that are putting in the extra effort to be able to consistently score lots of rings. So overall positive change, I think. Next up, they increased the high stake bonus again. I feel like every update so far, they've increased the point value of the high stake at least somewhat. Now, instead of having a random 3-point bonus, it's now a 6-point bonus. So the high stake, instead of being worth 6 points, is now just worth 9. Plus, you can get an extra 2 from putting a robot up on the ladder per robot. So theoretically, the high stake could be worth 13 points for VRC and up to 15 points for Vexio. So shout out to Kudos for getting an extra 3 points for free for Vexio. But in high school, I really don't think anyone's doing high stake, and I don't think anyone's going to. I just don't think it's strategically viable, because if somebody's going for the high stake, you just park your robot in front of the corner, like the corner of the ladder in which they would climb up to get to the high stake. And with it being worth 13 points, there's not really anything other than maybe a negative steal, which you can't really do anymore, which I'll get to later, that a robot can do that's going to be that many points. So it's just as effective to just sit there and don't let them hang and get to the high stake. And then maybe at like 1 second left, you could go do a quick tier 1 hang, and that's not going to be enough time for them to get all the way up the ladder. So I really don't think this is addressing the main problem with the high stake. Next up is a pretty big change to SG11. This is kind of what I was alluding to earlier in the video. First of all, it only affects all corners, so you can't put a negative corner in at the end of the match. So, and then the other thing is that instead of being 30 seconds, it is now 60 seconds, which is quite crazy. So I think that this is going to have a lot of implications. So basically, the only thing in the last 60 seconds to do now is hang and wall stakes, and maybe mess around with the 5th mobile goal, wherever that is. So I think this is going to do a couple of things. I think maybe building a robot around stealing mobile goals is going to be more effective, just because that 5th mobile goal is going to be floating around somewhere that's not protected. So if you can at least grab onto that and shut down the opponent's robot, that would be valuable. I think tier 3 hangs are going to be very important. And then wall stakes, and potentially even descoring wall stakes, I think could be very important, because the wall stakes are going to fill up in pretty much every high-level match at this point now. So that kind of means you either have to be able to descore wall stakes or have to tier 3 hang in order to be competitive. Overall, I don't think this is a great change. especially because negative corners, most of the time negative corner plays are happening at the end of the match. But I do think maybe now there's a strategy where you intentionally fill up a negative goal, because with 60 seconds left, that's enough time to do pretty much whatever you want. Like by the time the match starts, you grab a goal, fill it up for negative, do a couple of wall stakes, and then go to the negative corner. That's roughly going to be the time. So there's not really going to be a lot of sitting around during these matches anymore. So I think it'll make things more interesting from a spectator perspective, but I don't necessarily think it's going to make the game play any better, if that makes sense. Next up, kind of an interesting thing to implement this late in the season, but previously the Electromagnet found in the Vex work cell kit was not legal, and now it is legal to compete with. I don't really have any experience with the Electromagnet, so I'm not sure how that's necessarily going to affect things, but it is legal now, so that's something to look into if you have Electromagnets lying around. And there doesn't seem to be any limit on these, so you could essentially get as many actuators as you want on your robot. I think they plug into the smart ports, so interesting to see how people end up using these. Now this one does not affect gameplay, but it is something that is going to affect a very large number of teams. For plastic, you can use a 12 by 24 sheet of plastic, and there have definitely been some robots that I've seen that are very much pushing the limit of, are you sure this is actually legal? So now you actually have to have a 1-to-1 scale of all the parts on your robot on a sheet of plastic to show to the inspectors at inspection, I'm guessing, that you actually could cut all of these things from a single sheet. So I think this is a good change because there's a lot of teams that were probably skirting the rules on plastic or just didn't even think that counts. But I think this is going to affect a lot of teams. So if you're using any polycarbonate or any other plastics on your robot, be sure that you make a spare copy. It's not very expensive to get polycarbonate, and you can just write on it. But it's very important now that I guess you keep track of these things, because if you don't have this copy, you probably won't even be allowed to compete at Worlds unless you either take the plastic off your robot or take it off, sketch them out, and show them that it fits in a 12 by 24 sheet. Now, the final thing is something that I've been asking for a very long time. Best of 3. Before you had all this stuff about, oh, is it best of 1 or best of 3 for eliminations? But all eliminations at the World Championships will be best of 3. So what this means is if you lose a match, that doesn't automatically mean that you are knocked out of the tournament. You still get to play at least one more match. So if you lose 2 matches in a row to the team, then you're out of the tournament. If you lose a match, then you win a match, then you get the 3rd round. So best of 3, I think it's going to make things a lot more interesting because you're going to have the better teams winning. It's much harder in best of 3 to just get lucky and win a match. An instant DQ isn't the end of the world. You can still recover from it. Overall, I think this is a massive change that is going to be very good in making things just more competitive, because you're not going to see upsets anywhere near as often of teams that are less skilled that get lucky, or somebody who is skilled and gets unlucky. Now, there's one more rule that we need to cover here today, and that is not actually found within the game manual. That is a piece of life advice that I want to give you. If you're still watching this and you're thinking, wow, this is an interesting game manual update, might I remind you to look down and check the date. Today is April Fool's, and I have been spreading misinformation. The game manual update actually comes out on April 2nd, which I believe this is the first game manual update in a very long time that's come out on a Wednesday and not a Tuesday. Probably because they know that if a game manual update was dropping on April 1st, that a lot of misinformation would have been spread. So on that note, do make sure you are subscribed, because the update does come out tomorrow, and I will be posting a video very similar to this one covering the actual update. However, as you're browsing the internet, it's very important to remember what is real and what is not real. AI has progressed a lot. Like this is 1 year of change of Will Smith eating pasta. You have over here, it's very clearly AI. Over here, you have something that you could probably recognize it as AI, but it's not, at a quick glance, it's not going to be easily identifiable. But we're moving towards a future in which you aren't going to be able to easily tell this in a couple more years. Like you can see the amount of change that was just made in 1 year. And the way in which I created this, actually, you can't tell. You won't be able to look back at this and see any errors. I didn't use Photoshop to do this. In order to actually make the images that I had in the slideshow, I just used the inspect element, in which you can go through. It's just HTML code. It's not too hard to learn. But like here, I can go through here, and I can type, and I can change that to a 4.0, and change that to April 1st if I wanted to. As you can see, I can change anything. It's going to look exactly the same. So as you're browsing the internet, just be sure to check. Don't just look and see if something looks right. You need to actually think about it. Use your brain and make sure that what you're looking at is actually something that is reasonable to assume. Check your sources. Like, I don't have a source for this manual because it doesn't exist. As just because someone has a picture or even a video of something, that does not at all mean that it is true. So use your brain and be smart. That wraps it up for this video. Be sure to like in order to support the YouTube algorithm. Comment, although if it's still April 1st, don't comment anything related to April 1st to ruin it for anyone else. And subscribe so that you don't miss the game manual update coming out tomorrow. Stay safe online, and I will see you in the next one.